Did you see her? I apologize.
The river is waiting, come rise up. A new day is dawning, come rise up. We sail in the first light, come together. Set our course for the crossing together. Sail on, sail on, the river is waiting. Sail on, sail on, oh my, 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 my. Sail on, the river is waiting. Got another page? To slip from this island, I'm ready. Gonna leave all my sorrows behind. Lift my face to the new day that's rising. Say it with me. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. The river is waiting. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. The river is waiting. Sail on. This is where Tony plays a solo. That verse again. The river is waiting. I'm ready to slip from this island. I'm ready. Gonna leave all my sorrow behind. Lift my face to the new day that's rising. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. The river is waiting. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. The river is waiting. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on. The river is waiting. Sail on. One more time. Sail on. Sail on. Oh my, 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 my. Sail on.
Wow, good morning. Good morning. What better introduction than to hear his music? So I'd like to introduce our musical team today. Aaron English is touring through Unity almost every Sunday. And God, he's wonderful. But there's more to him than just his music. He actually has started an international youth music project in Africa. And he supports the youth music programs in the orphanages.
Aww.
Welcome, Aaron. And of course, most of you have already met Tony. And is there anybody new here today?
Oh, I'm new.
Hey.
I don't know what she said.
His name's Ken.
Ken?
Ken.
And Nora.
Sorry about that. Ken, Nora.
Did you
Who's that
get
new guy with a tie on it?
Oh yeah, huh?
Billy?
A tie.
Aaron Vaughn. Did you get a little red heart? when you
Yes, I did, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, that's a symbol to us of the love within this community. And so you know, in your moments of need, you can hold on to that little red heart and just know that you're surrounded by love and supported through our spiritual community, you know, here at West Island Unity, or Unity of Bremerton. I'm not sure what we're calling because it says both things in this.
We're transformed.
Yeah. So now I'd like to have our team do the heart song.
So this is a song by a gentleman you might have heard of. His name is George Harrison. This is a Beatles song. They recorded it but never released it. And it was written when they were hanging out in India being spiritual. I thought this would be an appropriate song for the theme of talk, the theme of service today. Dehradun is a city of pilgrimage in India, so this is a pilgrimage song. And it doesn't mean that you need to literally go to Dehradun. It's a song about the pilgrimages that we all take, wherever it is that we are going, wherever it is we are coming from. So it's pronounced Dehradun, and I like to roll the H and the R just to kind of be pretentious about it. Dehra? I like it's a good idea, thanks. So the chorus goes, this is going to be interesting. There, okay.
Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. That's it. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun.
Sing that?
Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Many roads can take you there, many different ways. One direction takes you years, another takes you days. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Many people on the roads looking at the sights. Many others with their troubles looking for their rights. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. See them move along the road in search of life divine. Beggars in a gold mine. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Many roads can take you there, many different ways. One direction takes you years, another takes you days.
And one more Dehradun.
Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun. Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun.
One more time.
Dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun, dehradun, dun, dehradun.
Wow, thanks, it's getting better and better. As I mentioned before, we've got the Red Heart Society, and yesterday we had a function that embraced and honored Daryl Fettuccini, our pianist and choir director and music director for years and years. And so I wanted to let you all know, I'm so grateful for the show that we had and for the sharings that we had, and Daryl loved it, and it just was so wonderful to just see him soaking up the love, like that we speak about through the Red Heart connection and stuff, but he really took it in, and I think it's really going to support him on his journey. So for that, we say thank you. Also want to make a few announcements. Besides the usual, the Course in Miracles is on Wednesday nights at 7. The Quest class has started, and that is on Thursday from 7:30 to 9. The Prosperity class is on Thursdays from 6 to 7:15. Now, coming events on October 30th, we've got Mark Stanton Wells joining us for a Sunday service as well as a workshop and concert. So if you can make that, that's always a fun time, as well as very uplifting. On November 1st, from 7 to 9, we've got Susan O'Clair for the New Moon Circle, which is a spiritual star talk. And on November 13th, the Thanksgiving supper, there's sign-up sheets in the back, close to the food area there. So if you want to sign up to help, we would really appreciate that. On the 6th, Suzanne O'Clair is back with us, and on the 18th, the Spirit of Christmas holiday candle lighting service. So that's at 7 p.m. And we're going to be closed on Christmas Sunday. So get these things on your calendar, and we hope to see you for all of this. So at this point, we'd like to have our invocation and statement of faith. And say it with me, please.
There is one presence and one power, active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Now this, my timing is exhausted. This is our time for handshakes and hugs, and we're a really huggy group. If you haven't been here before, so if you're not comfortable with that, put your hand out really quickly. And remember to hug gently, because some of us older folks are tender these days.
Oh, I love this.
No, no, I wasn't, yeah, no, but. It, with.
Just sing a little bit on this So this is an African song. I spent 2 months in East Africa last year helping to build music programs in Kenya and Uganda, and now I'm back in Seattle being more useful actually with collecting donated musical instruments and funds to keep these music lessons going. This is a song that I taught them at one of the orphanages in Uganda. And I decided to learn 2 songs to teach. I was trying to decide what songs might cross borders. The two biggest selling artists in the world in history are both Jamaican. I chose a song from each of them. One of them is probably pretty obvious. That's Bob Marley. The other, maybe not so obvious. Maybe Harry Belafonte. It is obvious to some. Out of the spotlight, but still a legend. This is a Harry Belafonte song, and there's a word in it in Swahili. It's Mabatiwa, which means "and so it is," or "and so is life." It's kind of a unity song. This is called "Turn the World Around," and I taught this to the kids there. And they're still singing it. They just sent me a music video they made for it. Now let's see. How about a little Wurlitzer? There we go. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Oh, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See, we want another. Do we know who we are? Ah, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. What can we do with the wash the mountain fire? Make the sunlight turn the world around. Join us up the river. Body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight. Turn the world around. Spirit is the mountain. Spirit only can the spirit turn the world around. We are of the spirit. Truly of the spirit. Only can the spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See, we want another clear. Do we know who we are? Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. Would you sing it with me? Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. One more time. Oh, so is life a batiwa. So is life. The next thing is so early in the morning, I'm so sorry.
It was too much fun to walk here.
just keep thinking about Harry Belafonte. Saw him in person, I just, in Seattle earlier. Today's word, grace. I give thanks for everyday grace. Grace is my unmerited gift from the divine source. Freely available to all, grace is accessible to me at any moment. I need only to be conscious enough to recognize it. When I live in a state of grace, I am living in an awareness of the divine flow. As I spiritually awaken through prayer and meditation, I realize how grace is active in my everyday life. It shows up as amazing opportunities that unexpectedly present themselves, resources that materialize out of seemingly nothing, and ambiguous signposts directed in perfectly timed to show me the next right step to proceed in alignment with a higher purpose in my life. I experience profound gratitude, joy, and wonder as I see the results of Spirit's guiding grace in my daily affairs. From Psalm 16, verse 11, you show me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy.
I was really moved, speaking of grace, by the line in Harry Belafonte's song, "We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, and only can the Spirit turn the world around," which doesn't seem like a song that will be on the radio. This is an election song, sort of. It used to be.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's more of a, thank God the election is over. So.
Oh, so true.
The circus is over.
Circus is over.
If you know this, sing along. Happy days are here again, the skies above are clear again. Let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together shout it now. There's no one who can doubt it now. Let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Here again, the skies above are clear again. Let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together shout it now. There's no one who can doubt it now. Let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Happy days are here again. One more time. Happy days are here again. May it be so.
I'm a little bit taller than Marilyn, but not by much. I'm going to light the Christ candle now, and this is
a recognition, a bringing forth of what we all share, what we all have within us, the Christ light. This is what we share with the world, our love and our blessing. I'm going to share a brief meditation with you from A Course in Miracles. So I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. This is from Lesson 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Here is the answer to your search for peace. Here is the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here is the way to safety in apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty to all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all questions answered. Here, the end of all uncertainty ensured at last. Forgiveness is acquired. It is something we learn, and often applying forgiveness to a person or a situation is like the proverbial onion skin, one layer at a time. Each person or situation who seems to offer us a wound or a pain presents us with an opportunity to learn forgiveness and perhaps teach forgiveness. As we teach, we also learn. Today we practice to forgive. If you're willing, you can learn today to take the key to happiness and use it on your own behalf. The unforgiving mind does not believe that giving and receiving are the same. Yet we will try to learn today that they are one through practicing forgiveness toward one whom you think of as an enemy and one who you consider as a friend. And as you learn to see them both as one, you will extend the lesson to yourself and see that their escape included yours. Begin with thinking of someone you do not like. Someone who appears to irritate you or cause regret in you if you should meet them. One who you actively despise or merely try to overlook. It does not matter what the form your anger takes. You probably have chosen that person already. They will do. Now close your eyes and see that person in your mind and look at them a little while. Try to perceive some light in them, somewhere, a little gleam which you had never noticed. Try to find some little spark of brightness shining through the ugly picture that you hold of him. Look at this picture until you see a light somewhere within it. And then try to let this light extend until it covers them and makes the picture beautiful and good. Look at this changed perception for a while and turn your mind to one you call your friend. Try to transfer the light you learned to see around your former enemy to your friend. Perceive him now as more than friend for you. For in that light, His Holiness shows you your friend, your Savior, saved and saving, healed and whole. Then let Him offer you the light you see in Him, and let your enemy and friend unite in blessing you with what you gave. Now you are one with them, and they with you. Now you have been forgiven by yourself. Do not forget. Throughout the day, the role forgiveness plays in bringing happiness to every unforgiving mind, with yours among them. Every hour tell yourself, forgiveness is the key to happiness. I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible, and full of sin, and know that I am the perfect child of God. And another thought from A Course in Miracles that I'll share with you. The thought for the month of October, I share God's will of happiness for me. Be blessed.
This is called
Believe. And the very first line I wrote, I don't believe in hope, which isn't meant to be a downer. And it goes on to say, I believe in here and now, you and I, your faith and mine. So the idea is, why settle for hope? How about action? And intention and thought. Let's just believe. To see us through these times, I believe in the here and now. You and I, your faith and mine. Well, brighter days may come, maybe so, but this I know. Today I see, I feel, I breathe, and in you I do believe. Believe in me, believe in me, believe in me. Here, believe in me now, believe in me, yes, believe in me. Oh, heaven, you earth, but still we call you friend. Take all we love away, and we grieve and grieve again. But we let each other go, we let each other leave. What else are we to do? What are we to believe? Believe in me, please. Believe in me, please. Believe in me. Oh, believe in me, yes. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Please, believe in me, please. Believe in me. Believe in me. Believe in me here. Believe in me now. Believe in me. Rich. I put my trust in my kind. Yeah, my kind, my humankind. This skin we're in but do now. This borrowed breath, this life on loan. And the sun, the moon, the sea. And in you I do believe. Once around the sun these days roll into one you must never look back will only slow you down you step into the stream, but the
the clip? Yeah. So I want you guys to watch this. This is by James Simon, who is a peace troubadour.
Here's something we can probably all agree on. Nothing good can come from the negative energy surrounding the U.S. presidential election. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, from the Green Party, or Independent, and it also doesn't matter if you live in the United States or somewhere else. This election is going to impact the lives of every person on this planet. Isn't it time that we come together and imagine the highest good emerging from this election for all of us? On Sunday, November 6th at 7 p.m. New York time, people from every state in the U.S. and many countries around the world will join together for 15 minutes of silence, synchronizing their meditations and prayers to positively impact the U.S. general election. Imagine what could happen. In the past, we've seen miracles occur when massive numbers of people come together in this way. In fact, science has even proven the powerful effect such a movement can have in bringing peace to situations of violence and discord. No matter who you support in the election, this could be the most positive thing you can do to bring about an outcome that serves us all. I'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Celebrate Your Life conference with many other luminaries focusing this synchronized meditation. Will you join us? Once again, stop whatever you're doing at 7 p.m. New York time on November 6th and focus your energy on a positive outcome for this U.S. election. This could be the greatest, most powerful thing any of us do to bring peace to this and every country.
So James Twyman is someone that has written many books. Is this on? No. I can barely hear it.
It's not.
It's not on. James Twyman is someone that has written many books for peace and Emissaries of Light. Anyone know of that book?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a fabulous book.
It's not working.
There
Okay.
it is.
Okay. Anyway, we don't need these things anyway, right? We can talk. But anyway, it's so exciting what's happening right now, and we have, as a church, have been invited to participate with James Twyman on January 22nd. James has made a new movie all about the 12 powers. He's joined with Unity, and he's made a new movie about the 12 powers and the power of the 12 powers. And so what they're doing is they're inviting different churches to be a part of this. And on January 22nd, what we're going to do is we're going to live stream him first, and then he's going to talk to everyone, and then we're going to watch the movie about the 12 powers. It's going to be a really wonderful time. So you get more about that as we go on. But I invite you to participate in this meditation. You know, with some of you, I shared when all the storms were happening that years ago in Unity, May Rowland, who was someone that walked with the Fillmores, she was someone that, she was the head of Silent Unity at that time, and there was a tornado that was on the way to the village, headed right towards the village. And May was watching it all day. They were praying about it, and finally she asked all the prayer workers to go down into the tunnels below. And she went outside and she stood there and she said, "You will go around. You are not about my Father's business." With all of her faith, not hope. I love that. With all of her faith and all of her knowing, and it did. It did. It went around. We're that powerful. We have that ability in us with faith. Here we are in the middle of faith in action. And that's what it's all about. It's the activity of faith. It's the activity of knowing that God truly is within us. That God truly is, and that we, each one of us, are vehicles.
each and every one of us. And so this is a time for us to come together in love. There's so much stuff going on with this election, and we call it second force. There's all of this chemicalization, all this garbage stuff coming up. So let's stand together. Let's pray in the way that we know, and let's be powers of love in the world. Let's be powers of love in the world. So here we are, we're in faith in action, we're bursting forth into the future. We're bursting into the future. We're bursting into the future as light. We're bursting into a fuller, freer, more expansive version of life manifesting itself through us. A fuller version is, in other words, it's going to be different. It's different, and it's different because we make it different. Because of the choices that we make and how we choose, makes me cry, how we choose to show up in the world makes it different. The infinite presence of life is ready and eager to burst forth into a future that has never been experienced before, and this bursting forth is happening in, as, and through you and me. And people that are so responsible with this knowledge, people that take it beyond ourselves. That's what this is about. We have to go beyond ourselves. Because it's not just about I, me, it's about us. It's about us. And that's the point that we are at. That is the point that we are at in the evolution. We've had some rich experiences with this Faith in Action time. Last week we got to spend some time with your beloved, who I know hasn't been here in a while, and I'm forgetting her name right now. Joanna Gabriel. Yeah. What a love. What a powerful time. We spent time with Daryl yesterday. What a powerful time of love that was for us. To listen to the stories. So today I want to talk to you about becoming a person of increase. Becoming a person of increase, and what that means to become a person of increase. Right now we're, as part of this Faith in Action series, I'm teaching a class on prosperity. What does it really mean to be prosperous? It means to become a person of increase. To become a person of increase. To be able to look through these eyes and be in gratitude. To live in that state of gratitude. To go beyond myself and what's happening right now in me, what I'm irritated about in my life, to go beyond that. And to appreciate, to appreciate the gifts that are around us all the time. Abundant living. Abundant living. So what is a person of increase? A person of increase is one who brings an expansive energy to everything that he or she does. An expansive energy. Yesterday when we were with Daryl, people were sharing stories with Daryl about how he expanded them. Sally talked about and how Daryl has helped her keep singing. He expanded her vision, her life. People talked about on how he took them to the recording studio. Your choir took them to the recording studio where they recorded and they felt amazing. He expanded them. See, love does that. Love does that. It goes beyond ourselves. This is not about just me. This is about us. And how do we create together? And sure, we're going to have a rub once in a while, aren't we? We are. We're going to have a rub once in a while because different different levels of consciousness coming together, different ideas coming together. But how are we going to go through it? How are we going to work through it? How are we going to increase? How are we going to expand? Whatever it is that we are together in. A person of increase is one who sees greater and greater and even greater possibilities at every turn. Greater and greater and greater. Have you ever had anything that got in your way? Yeah. But I used to have my email address used to be, I dwell in possibilities. Yeah. I dwell in possibilities. A person of increase is a person who lives from the realization that we are immersed in, surrounded by, and filled with a presence of all good. And that within the presence of all good is the power to bring the all good into their lives by the way they relate to it. Because the choice, the free will, is up to us, isn't it? We get to choose. We get to choose. Through life, life is going to give us choices. Every one of us, it's going to give us choices. It's going to give us choices on how we're going to hang out in the election. With the election, where we're going to go with that. You know, how are we going to look at it? Are we going to let it bog us down? A person of increase is a person who experiences increase in their good, and in that good, they bring to the world. They bring to the world. Because it's not just about me. It's not just about filling me up and staying with me so I feel good. It's not just about empowering me and I just stay with all that power and use it for myself. It's not. If we do that, we'll burst. We'll burst. We will. We have to be the Red Sea, not the Dead Sea. Yeah. And so I want to begin this morning by sharing with you a passage from the book that I'm using for the series, from Wallace Wattles' book, The Science of Getting Rich. Very, very old book. And this comes from the chapter, The Impressions of Increase. It says, the desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. Every living thing is under this necessity for advancement. It is the urge of the formless intelligence within them seeking fuller expression. The law of perpetual increase is set forth by Jesus in the parable of the talents. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And because it is the deepest instinct of their natures, all men and women are attracted to the one who can give them more of the means of life. In following the certain way, as described in the foregoing pages, you are getting continuous increase for yourself, and you are giving it to all with whom you deal. So I want to talk about the certain ways that he talks about. And the first one, this is what he describes. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Be sure of this and convey assurance of the fact to every man, woman, and child with whom you come in contact. No matter how small the transaction, even if it be only the selling of a stick of candy to a little child, Put into it the thought of increase and make sure that the customer is impressed with the thought of increase. Convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, so that all people shall receive the impression that you are an advancing person and that you advance all who deal with you. Even to the people whom you meet in the social way without any thought of business and to whom you do not try to sell anything, give the thought of increase. I love that. I love that. Because you know what that's about? That's about everyone making everybody successful. Everybody making everybody successful. What if that were your way of being? What if everyone that you met, you had that thought, gee, how can I support this person today? How can I make this person successful today? How can I love this person today? What if you thought that with every person that you met? Every single person. We're using, I showed a video in the class, and it's about a movement that's giftism, I think it's called. And it's out of Berkeley, California, and it's a movement that is moving, and it's all based on that prosperity is about gifting. And gifting in a lot of different ways. And there was a powerful story about a man that was very upset and decided to end his life. And so he walked to the Golden Gate Bridge, where a number of people end their life by jumping off. And he walked there with tears streaming down his face, very upset. And a woman ran up to him and handed him her camera and said, "Can you take my picture?" Totally unaware of him and what was happening for him in that moment. He took her picture, handed her the camera back, and then took 3 running steps and jumped off the bridge. He was one of the few people that lived. He's part of this group. And I love his story because he says, if one person would have reached out in human contact with a smile, if one person would have connected with him that day, that would have stopped him. If she would have been aware of, in that moment, to open her heart and be with him, to hear him, instead of being about herself. You know, how can we make that person standing in front of us successful? We have to go beyond self. We have to go beyond self. In a nutshell, in every interaction, leave the person or the situation better than it was when you found it. Better than it was when you found it. What is love to you? Love is more than just a 4-letter word. What is the activity? You can't stand and say that you're a loving person and do nothing. It is a verb. It's an action. Love calls us to action, and this is the time that we are really being called to action. You know, in our church we have that little red heart that we do, the Red Heart Fellowship, and I know that has touched so many people. A few weeks ago, a man came from another church, and it just turned out that he was from a church where a good friend of mine is the minister there. And John used to be in New York, and now he's in, I can't remember, Tennessee, I think it is. And so I sent a heart for John. And I said, please give him this heart and tell him it's from me. And John sent me an email back. John was traveling, and he sent me an email back, and he said, that touched my heart so much. I know that you're doing good work. And that heart it's the heart fellowship. That's what it's all about. You know, opening one heart at a time. I heard a beautiful story once written by a college student and his experience with a classmate whose name was Rose, and I want to read this to you. It's in his own words. The first day of school, our professor introduced himself and challenged us to get to know someone we didn't already know. I stood up and looked around when a gentle hand touched my shoulder. I turned around to feel a wrinkled little old lady beaming up at me with a smile that lit up her entire being. And she said, "Hi, handsome. My name is Rose." I love that. "I'm 87 years old. May I give you a hug?" I laughed and enthusiastically responded, "Of course you may." And she gave me a giant squeeze. "Why are you in college at such a young, innocent age?" I asked. She jokingly replied, "I'm here to meet a rich husband, get married, have a couple of children, and then retire and travel." No, seriously, I asked. I was curious. What may have motivated her to be taking on her challenge at her age, this challenge at her age? "I always dreamed of finishing my college education, and now I'm doing it," she told him. After class we walked to the Student Union building and shared a chocolate milkshake. I was going to say chocoholic. That's me. We became instant friends. I was always mesmerized listening to this time machine as she shared her wisdom and experience with me. Over the course of a year, Rose became a campus icon and easily made friends wherever she went. She loved to dress up, and she reveled in the attention bestowed upon her from the other students. She reveled in the attention bestowed upon her from the other students. She was living it up. At the end of the semester, we invited Rose to speak out at our football banquet, and I'll never forget what she said. She was introduced and stepped up to the podium. As she began to deliver her prepared speech, she dropped her 3x5 cards on the floor. Frustrated and a little embarrassed, she leaned into the microphone and simply said, "I'm sorry, I'm so jittery. I gave up beer for Lent, and this whiskey is killing me." I'll never get my speech back in order, so let me just tell you what I know. As she laughed, she cleared her throat and began. "We do not stop playing because we are old. We grow old because we stop playing. There are only 4 secrets to staying young, being happy, and achieving success. You have to laugh and find humor every day. You've got to have a dream. When you lose your dreams, you die. We have so many people walking around who are dead and don't even know it. There's a huge difference between growing older and growing up. Anybody can grow older. That doesn't take any talent or ability. The idea is to grow up by always finding the opportunity and change. Have no regrets. The elderly usually don't have regrets for what we did, but rather for things we did not do. The only people who fear death are those with regrets." She concluded her speech by courageously singing "The Rose." Makes me cry. She challenged each of us to study the lyrics and live them out in our daily lives. And at the year's end, Rose finished the college degree she had begun all those years ago. And 1 week after graduation, Rose died peacefully in her sleep. Over 2,000 college students attended her funeral in tribute to the wonderful woman who taught by example that it's never too late to be all you can be. I love that. I love that. Such a great person of increase. Rose was a person of increase. She expanded. She expanded a room. New Thought tells us, in the long run, everyone who loves is loved. All who give joy receive it back. everything moves in circles, in cycles of cause and effect. More is added to the much we use. When we refuse to use our gifts, they shrivel up. The divine flow is short-circuited. The one who gives for the joy of giving will receive back even more joy than he gave out. Ever as the volume increases, the circle will increase. In order to live more and more and more in a certain way, I ask you how you might bring increase to your life, to every interaction that you have in your life. Perhaps by being a beneficial presence on the freeway. Perhaps by being a beneficial presence in the election. By offering to help someone carry out a heavy load in the store. By giving more value and service that you charge in fees. T. Harv Ecker's abundance training, he says that we shouldn't promise low and deliver high. Rather, we should promise high and deliver higher. I love that. Because you see, it's the state of being that you're living in. The state of being that you're living in. We go beyond ourselves, but that doesn't mean that we get left out. That means that we expand as well. Giving and receiving are the same thing, exactly the same thing. In the moment that I give, I receive. In the moment we give, we expand. In that very moment. Wallace goes on to write about the second way. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment. This is talking about the vision for your greater life that we talked about a few weeks ago. But act upon your present environment with all of your heart, with all of your strength, and with all of your mind. In other words, be there. Be there. Mike Dooley, the author of Notes from the Universe, says, do all you can with what you have where you are.
You've heard it.
Do all you can with what you have right where you are. Right where you are. Right where you don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to have anything. You can be that person that smiles. You can be that person to change someone's life, to change someone's decision in an instant. Because you smiled. Because you brightened their day. Because you were out to make someone else successful. Here's a good story. A reporter was once doing a study on people's attitudes towards their work. So he went to a construction site of a new church building to interview some of the bricklayers. He went to the first man and asked him what he was doing, and the first bricklayer didn't even look up from his work, but simply muttered, "What does it look like I'm doing? I'm sweating in the outside." The reporter then went to the second bricklayer and said, "What are you doing?" He looked up at the reporter and said, "I'm creating a wall." Then the reporter went to a third man and asked the same question. And when he heard the question, the bricklayer stood up from his crouched position. No, he didn't stand up. He rose up proudly. He lifted his gaze to the heavens and he said with a great reverence, "I am building a cathedral for God." Which one was a person of increase? You remember that third principle? That we talk about, those thoughts that we hold in our mind. You see, and look what was happening for him. That's where he was. Someone shared the story about I think it was Daryl sitting down at a piano that didn't have any feet that you play with. Jeannie, yeah, was sharing that story. And Daryl, we don't need those pedals. He sat down and just made that thing sing. A person of increase looks beyond and sees the essence of truth. Sees the essence of truth and lives by that. See, we're way bigger than this stuff that we're seeing, the personality stuff that we see. We're way bigger than that. That's just stuff that gets in our way. So be a person of increase. Make yourself a promise. See, all I'm talking about here is tithing. You didn't know it, did you? That's what I'm talking about. That's what tithing is all about. It's giving back. You know, when you're on the spiritual path, eventually you will go into service. Or you'll blow up. I mean, you have to. Because you're so full. You're so full. You've got to give it. You've got to give it. And that's what tithing is all about. Being a person of increase. You increase whatever you touch, wherever you are. That's what your consciousness does. So I invite you to close your eyes. Let's just take this inside. Let's take this inside. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And just say that to yourself. I am a person of increase. Say that out loud to yourself. I am a person of increase. Say it again. I am a person of increase. One more time. I am a person of increase. A person of increase. That is who I am. It's a privilege. You are an instrument of God, of goodness itself. That's who you are. Love in expression. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
I'm increasing already, suddenly really do. This song is called Where the Light Comes From. And the chorus that I wrote is, I want to know if you can be the place where the light comes from. That seemed like a good fit for her talk. The refrains are in Mohawk, so if you know Mohawks, it's a Mohawk standing quiver song, a friendship song. All of the tribes get together, and symbolically, all of the warriors would take their quiver off and set that and their bow in the middle of the circle, and they would all dance, all the tribes together. And the Mohawk were infamously warlike. It was a point of pride for them. We beat everybody else. They were absolutely feared, so for them to come together, all the tribes, with the quivers in the middle, was saying, my bow is too far away to shoot you with, let's dance.
And it had cool hair.
In that moment, it was, we are all increasing each other. This is called Where the Light Comes From. We are here, we are ha, we are ha, we are ha, we are ha, we are, we are ha. We are ha, we are ha, we are ha, we are ha, we are ha. I wanna know that you will burn bright whatever comes your way. I wanna know that you will own your joy and be at peace with your pain. I wanna know that if you fall short, you'll try again. I wanna know that you can handle the ecstasy of being human. And I don't care who you are or how you came to
wanna know that when you're weary, you'll still remember who you hope to be. See the truth that you need to see. Be brave enough to listen. Do whatever must be done for the sake of what you believe in. Be what the world needs you to be, and that is human. And I don't care who you are or how you came to be here. I wanna know if you can be the place where the light comes from. Away, hey, away, 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 hey, yo.
Yeah, I want to say something about Tony. You know, Tony doesn't get the music or anything. He just steps in and does it. Yep. I think that's pretty amazing, doesn't it?
That's awesome.
I always say that he's my amazing husband. Okay, so it is time for our gifts. If you would take out your gift, and remember what we're doing now is we're not blessing them before, but we're blessing them after together. And so as you are preparing your gift, just hold it in your heart and think to yourself, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I get to give. I get to give. And feel that as you're giving that gift. Feel that as you're giving that gift. And then while we're doing this, you can light candles and burn papers.
Go back.
Yeah, imagine you going much faster than you're going right now. Really? Yeah.
It all went past me. It flows right on. Jump in.
Okay, look at, here we go. There you go. Yeah, blue might need it.
If you're wondering about the curtains and why you changed the curtains, because we're live streaming and they're recording now, and the light behind was creating shadows, so they put the darker curtains up. That's why.
So it's going to be dark out every Sunday?
Yeah, until we and change it.
The visitor department, he doesn't like it. Yeah, especially. To me, this place is like really good.
Oh, what? This good, we can't anymore.
Trouble transferring. I'm on the way from the out of town.
George, you want to come up? And the chaplain for today is Nora. You want to come? Oh, sure. Okay, Joyce. Okay, so let's consecrate these gifts. Together? Together we dedicate these gifts in service to the highest mission, recognizing and celebrating our oneness with God. We joyfully and freely participate in the law of circulation, of giving and receiving, knowing God is source, the source of all good. We are grateful. And, okay, thank you so much. We can, Food for Life bag. So one of the things we do at this church is we help with lunches for the homeless, and Jim and Charlene, who have been doing that for years, do it a couple times a week, and they ask for our help by bringing some food. Thank you so much, Jimmy. So we'll get that done. Let's have some good news. Any good news? Okay.
My wife wanted me to redo the deck. And I was trying to be gracious in doing that, and I've become less gracious as I've gone along because it's been more expensive and more time and a lot more work. But this week, drum roll, it's done!
Yes, and decrease, yes.
Decrease our assets by putting them in the backyard.
But expanded our pleasure. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I shared that I was blessed with cancer, and along the way, I've been guided to a lot of wonderful people to support me in learning how to dance with us. And this past week, although the numbers are not good, so the leukemia is actually worse according to them, I've been referred to a new doctor that just happens to have showed up at the cancer center I've been working with, that has just come off of a few years of research in the type of cancer that I was diagnosed with, in the bone marrow. And so that, I thank God and my angels and guides and spirits that put this person in my path that I will be seeing in the next few weeks. So, and one thing that I ask of you is that some of you know I've reclaimed my name of Jet from when I was first flying. And so if you would hold me and Daryl and anybody else that has health challenges, when you see a jet flying over, think of us and say a prayer.
Susan, you want to stand up? So if you didn't know, this little gal has been working day and night, and I literally mean that, day and night. Like, she gets up at 2 in the morning to get the website out. It is up and running and it's and you know what? It was all volunteer. It was all volunteer, so that's amazing. It's beautiful.
And if you're looking at it, you see anything, we totally invite feedback. You know, sometimes going to miss, some might make a typo or something in there, anything, or if you want to see something on there, that would mean a lot to you.
It's beautiful, Susan.
Thank you.
It really is.
Yeah,
way to go.
This is unityofbremerton.org.
Unityofbremerton.org.
And can I say one more thing? Mark Stantwell's tickets, I'm selling them, they're for sale, and I'm in.
Yeah. So after service, if you want to get tickets to a concert or the workshop, they're for sale. Cindy, you want to say something about Facebook? Mark and Cindy have been doing an amazing job on our social media and Facebook.
Yeah.
So you want to share?
We got the name changed. You know, that takes a bit of working and finesse with Facebook. They are sometimes adverse to change. So, but it does say no longer West Sound Unity. It says Unity of Bremerton. So our branding is all coming in line. We've got our YouTube channel. We're live streaming and recording. So when Miss Mary can no longer be here physically, she will still be able to come see us on Sunday and anyone else. So please like our Facebook page. It's going to help spread the word. Rosella's invited her enormous amount of friends, and it's just jumping and buzzing and having just a wonderful time. So please check it out. Please like us. And you know, if you have any suggestions, please let us know.
And what happens when you do invite your friends to like it, they'll like the page and then our stuff will show up on their page. And so it spreads, that's how we grow consciousness, you know, that's how we get out there. One of the things I'm going to do too, I was just sharing this idea that came to me, is we're going to have invite people to join the Heart Fellowship online. And so I got some ideas with that. Mark.
So along with the Facebook page, if you follow the link on there to the YouTube channel, Unity of Bremerton has a YouTube channel, you can subscribe to that channel, and that will also help the presence grow.
Yeah, and I know that there are already some YouTubes on that channel of us and our services.
Yep.
And the last 3 weeks are up.
Wow.
Yep,
And
last 3 weeks have done
our
that.
wonderful musicians also have a presence on there too, so thank you, Erin.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do I have George's permission to tell of the good news? It's Tuesday at 1:30. If we can hold Lois in the highest level, she will have a procedure that will open up the whatever it is that allows food and nutrients to go into your body. That procedure will be done Tuesday afternoon, and bless her heart, that will work and nutrients will get in and she will
Only
gains
one
lose
correction, it's
50 pounds
10:30.
back.
What? In the morning, 10:30.
Oh, 10:30 in the morning, all right. An early jet, got it.
And this is an answer to prayer because at first there wasn't a procedure that could be done. They were talking about just having a feeding tube in her all the time. So this is something new and it can do it now. So that's an answer to prayer, isn't it? And Nima, little Nima, 1 pound, 12-ounce Nima is now home and with her mommy and daddy and doing very well. So we are so grateful. Any? No?
Will this one be, because I was sitting here thinking of a friend of mine whose house just burned to the ground
Yes.
in Alaska.
It's going to be on YouTube, not the website yet. We're still.
Yeah, right.
This session will be?
On YouTube. Yes.
Okay, and
It's on
I
YouTube.
also want to really come back to emphasize that film brought up so much. And the power of that, because James Twyman, he was doing work in the Soviet Union when I was back in the 80s, and one of the greatest things, even more than the trips over there, which was, some of you know Rama back from Max. Max, when he got involved in the stuff, then later they got married. But I started the work with Rama, and to see the difference of what happens when you spread that and the power of what went on from since back then. And I saw James also not long ago, he and his daughter, where he's talking about, and in that book and at that time, and it was at Unity in Ventura, and around where the mother of his daughter and his ex-wife, best friend, that was brutally murdered.
Okay.
And
Well,
all of that, but just to know that the power of the work that he's doing is what's been going on for years, and
Right.
it just reminds me of the power of the group, of coming together in meditations like that. So
Absolutely.
please do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And James Twyman now is in the area. He's actually in Portland. So he's going to be at the regional conference, Unity's regional, Northwest regional conference next year. We've got him. So I'm going to post a lot about that and invite you all to come see him because that's going to be an amazing thing for us to be with him. So our children are here. Let's sing them in.
Well, we did two things today. We did a little pre-activity. We each drew, first of all, just as a get the spirit flowing, we each picked a card from the spiritual card deck and we want to read them. You want yours, Jay?
Mine says, we are all part of the human race, but racing faster would not make me more human. I can relax and slow down.
Oh.
She didn't pick one. I am responsible for my own life. I make my own decisions. I can choose to accept or reject any advice I receive, even from people I love. I fingerprint personally and capabilities are different from every other person. I can be uniquely and fully myself.
Okay. And then,
What's yours?
okay. Other people already know that I am not God. They're all confused. Actually, I can say I don't know or admit my shortcomings, which is really hard for an engineer. But really, our main exercise was these children were so creative. What we're supposed to do was write in these 3 circles kind of the different ways we express our good self, our best self, our God self,
using our spirit, mind, and body. And actually, what they were much more creative. They came up with this fortune teller, and so Tanya's going to work it, and they each wrote these spirit qualities, of these God ways of expressing God in this fortune teller. So Tanya, who's first? Say something.
So that way we didn't argue over who goes first. We pulled little cards for who gets what.
Oh, that's where the flag is.
Okay, so red, green,
Orange.
2, 5, 6, 11. 3. You will be kind to others, and that's the mind of Or 7:30. You can make someone laugh, mind, spirit, and body.
Orange.
You are 2, 1, 6, or
6.
1, 2, 6, or 5.
5.
You can give someone a hug. What color? Red. 7, 8, 4, 3. 4. 7, 8, 4, 3. You can be kind to others, mind a body.
Okay, blue.
2, 5, 6, or 1.
6.
2, 5, 6, or 1.
I'll go with 6.
You can dance like no one is watching.
A well-engineered dance.
One, 2, 5, or 6. 6. 1, 2, 5, or 6. 2. Oh. You will give someone something.
Nice.
Let's give them a blessing. Children, we
love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are.
Yes. And now, before we end, I want to bring our attention to Mary. Mary, do you want to stand? I'll bring it to you. But Mary has been a part of this community for how many years?
58.
58 years.
Wow.
58 years. Amazing.
Work in progress.
A work in progress, she says. And she has been a blessing. I have known Mary for many years, from Unity on Bainbridge and Kingston Unity and this Unity. And she used to bring her mother to church. Yeah.
And her kids.
She is definitely a woman who expands.
I'm now a new great-grandmother.
Yeah, she's a new great-grandmother of 56.
Oh,
She knows how to expand.
Yes. I shall miss all of you. I've seen so many come and go, and now it's my turn. It's just a new adventure. A little warmer. Maybe it's a warning. Anyway, thank you all for being my friend all these years. I've seen a lot of people, loved a lot of people. And I've got one more Sunday.
One more Sunday.
One more Sunday. My daughter threw a monkey wrench into everything by having something else to do so we don't leave as quickly.
That's
good.
Thank you, daughter.
Yeah.
Her address is taped next to Daryl's on the window to the office. So she would like you all to have her address so you drop her a note right to her and stay connected. And we want to send you off with a little gift. So this is our prayer for protection for you.
I will probably need it.
I doubt it because I know how you live.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, and for those of you that have not signed it yet, we'll have it out here and so you can sign it too. But we want you to have this and think of us every time that you see this, and we'll think of you often as we love you. Let's all stand and grab a hand. Oh, Mary Ellen has a gift.
Oh,
Mary Ellen, you want to give us a gift?
Wow. And Ann and I were trying to think of something, so we got you one of our coffee cups. You know, it has the old name on it.
Oh,
so you'll
my.
She's been through many name changes.
I'll put that around.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
When the light of
God surrounds us, and the love of God enfolds us, and the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are,